Hey, thanks so much for clicking on the link to hear a little bit of the songwriting information, a little background info on the song, as it were. So first off, let me just tell you that I have been toying with this little thing, okay? And I liked it. I liked what it kind of felt like, and it was really cool. I have this first verse, when I run, when I hide, when I rage, when I give up hope. And I had nothing else. I really had absolutely nothing else. And the reason I didn't is because I felt like it was a little too weird. Even though I'm not totally sure all of these work congregationally, that's still my goal. When I write a worship song, I'm writing it to try to make it singable and true and relevant and worthwhile. And those are good stipulations that I need to place on myself when I write a song. I'm writing it for me, certainly, but I'm also writing it on the off chance that it would bless other people and other churches. And so I just felt like this was a little too artsy and a little too weird. And so I had two friends who, unknown to them, really helped me decide to finish this song. One of them, my friend Bruce McMahon, you've seen him on some of the videos I've posted before. But Bruce had given me a couple of CDs, just to some artists that he really liked. And I was really getting into it. And I started listening to Iron and Wine. Now, I had heard of Iron and Wine before. I'd listened to The Shepherd's Dog. That's the record that Bruce gave me. And I'd listened to it before, and it didn't do much for me. But I just started really to enjoy it, just to enjoy that kind of really emotive, kind of folky thing. And so I listened to it, and as I listened to it, it was interesting because I thought, man, I'd like to write worship songs like that sometimes. Every once in a while to write a song that's maybe a little more off-center, maybe a little more different, maybe a little bit more creative, maybe even not as formed up as a normal worship song. And I was thinking that, totally forgetting that I had this song somewhere on a sheet of paper. And so I didn't. Those two things didn't work. I didn't put those two together. And so then I was trying to finish a different song for this video, and it was a hymn that I'm redoing. Well, not redoing, but just kind of putting melody and music to, called "O Word of God Incarnate." And so on Twitter, I'd put, "Hey, do y'all think I can do a hymn for my songwriting?" And Smitty, my guitar player, said, "No, write a new one and you'll thank me later." And so I thought, well, shoot. So I went back, started looking at my stuff, and sure enough, I find this song, and it all came together. Smitty saying, write a real song, and the music that Bruce gave me. And so I just started to play with it. And so what I decided I wanted to do is I was going to keep it really mellow. And so I had this little thing, which I'm in the key of E, and so I had this little C sharp to B to A. I didn't know what to do, so just kind of humming some words. But the whole drive of it, "But I hear you clearly, Lord," it's just kind of this very conversational, very honest. And I'd really already set up this idea of, God, no matter what I am, when I hide, when I'm scared, when I rage, all these things, I'd already set up this idea in the verse that God knows what to say, and God knows what to do when I am these things. And I thought, well, maybe just a chorus of me affirming that I recognize that. God, I realize that I look at my life, no matter where I am, you know exactly what to say. And so, I just try to be as honest as I could. There's so many things that I don't want to show, but I hear you clearly, Lord. And then I remember this that little deal. And so that formed the melody. Say you know. So second verse was a little harder, so I started to try to do other things, when I stray, when I lie, when I fall. And I especially like towards the end, because I feel like as worship songs develop, I really wanted to start to say, not just, hey, God, you know me, but rather, God, you've always known me. You're always going to know me. And so I got a line, when I fall, you already hold me, in that God's already in charge. And when I fall, his hands don't swoop down. His hands are already there. And when I was unknown to all of the world, even then, God, you knew me. And so I just liked that. I just liked that idea of telling the Lord, you know what, God, you know everything about me, and you know exactly what to do. You just know. And just to kind of rest in that. And then the last part, so I wasn't going to call it Inmost, and I just thought, well, that would be cool to have like just a huge ending part, which is not my plan. So I was just kind of playing these chords, not really anything, and just singing, you know, you know, you know, you know, you know. Just kind of singing that, really not with an idea of it being a song, but just kind of in my heart, you know, Lord, yes you do, yes you do. You're doing all that stuff. And so then I thought that rhythm worked, you know, and I didn't have anything else. And I thought, man, I'm really saying that God knows the inmost part of everything about me. He knows my inmost part. He says that in His Word. And so when I hit that, you know, the inmost, I just thought it was really cool. And unknown to me, the song ended up making complete sense. Even though I had not planned on saying, you know, the inmost, when that happened, I thought, that's it. That's it. None of the parts of this song work apart from each other. I mean, this is cool. You know, that thing's cool. But you've got to have the chorus. But to me, those verses and the choruses don't work with that little ending thing. It's not a bridge. I don't know what it is. But the song just felt whole, and it felt complete to me. And when I look at it, I feel like, yes, I've taken a snapshot of a feeling, of a response that a lot of Christians have, which is just that realization of, you know, I do a lot of dumb stuff, but God knows. God knows exactly that. We have those realizations all the time. And I think it's a valuable thing to sing. I don't know if I'll ever do it, but as always, when I'm done with a song, I want to look at it and say, hey, would I have any problem asking people to sing this song? And I don't think I would. I think it's a valid response to God. You know the inmost. And for all that is, for the darkness, for the shame, for the worst parts, God, you know it. You absolutely know it. So anyway, I'd like to know what you think about the song. You can comment here or on the previous video, however you want to do that. But this one was a last-minute deal, but I'm so glad that Bruce and Smitty kind of were friends and really pushed me towards this song. So anyway, that's the song. I hope you liked it. Love it when you comment, when you tweet, when you talk to me about it. Thanks for watching. Bye.